Hello chums, welcome back to Kenny's Crypt for Collectibles. Okay, today we've got a new pickups video for December and January. Now it's been pretty busy as far as getting stuff in because of Christmas. Obviously got a few presents, stuff I bought myself, and also had a birthday at the end of January, so that was more gifts, and yeah, I've been buying a lot of stuff as well, so it's been pretty busy. Now I've got a lot of Destiny stuff off the family for both my birthday and Christmas, but I'll be doing a separate video for that, so none of that stuff will be included today. So without any further ado, I think we'll get on with it because I've got a bit to show you. Right, now traditionally we start with gaming, steelbooks and games in general. So we'll start with that for the Xbox One, Forza 4 Horizon. Nice game. I've had a few hours on it. I prefer the Forza, the normal series, but you know, the Forza Horizon games are pretty entertaining. For the first time, I didn't actually buy this on release. I normally pre-order the Ultimate Edition Steelbooks for Forza games, but I didn't this year because we're playing Destiny so much. I thought, well, I'll never play it. But anyway, when I found out that it was sold out and almost impossible to get under £100, I thought, maybe I better look around for the second-hand version, which this is, but it's mint, and it's got all the codes inside it, although they've been used. So what I did was I was lucky enough to find that at Cax for, I think it was 38, and then I bought the Ultimate Edition online for, I don't know, 35. So actually I got it a bit cheaper than RRP and a lot cheaper than what a lot of people are asking for it now. So yeah, that was how I did that one. I'll just show you the steelbook, obviously. Bad, steelbooks go. Bad as usual with back covers, but I come to expect that by now. Yeah, so I won't be making that mistake again. All the Forza games in future I shall be pre-ordering. Right, just picked this one up back end of last week, a few days ago. It's the Day 1 edition of Dirt 4, which has a steely inside. Yeah, unusual design, not the greatest steelbook I've ever seen. Well, yeah, I've seen worse. It's an interesting design. That's about the best I can say for it. Although it was reasonably cheap at £15. So I thought, yeah. I normally, you know, as I've said to you in the past, I buy a lot of empty steelbooks now, but with racing games, I collect racing games essentially. So I like to have the game involved. Right, I just bought that one on the net for very cheaply, about £5 I think it was. It's been going for a lot more than that. This is the Ultimate Team Steelbook. It's got no game in, but I haven't got time to pay a fee for these days. I used to play it a lot. I haven't got time to play it. Quite a nice steelbook, that. I love anything with a reddy purpley background. So yeah, I was pleased to get that. The back's not very appealing, but can't win them all. So yeah, it was quite a nice one. Right, this is the Call of Duty Black Ops 4. It's another, I believe. Yeah, it's quite nice inside as well. Quite like that. Yeah, it's another one I got without the game because I'm not a big fan of Call of Duty, to be perfectly honest with you, even though I enjoy FPSs. But yeah, that's quite nice. Happy with it. And then this one is empty because I don't like the game. I don't really regard it as a racing game. It's well, I mean the first game at least, one of those cross-country dudes like Need for Speed Underground and stuff like that, which I'm not keen on. But having said that, it is a nice steelbook. I like it. It's very stylish in my opinion. And nice back and all. I don't know if it's a... No, I thought it might be an overlapping picture, but it's two separate. But yeah, I mean that's a nice steelbook, and it was cheap. I can't remember. It was only about a £5. So yeah, quite happy with the steelbook. So yeah, that was it for the steelbooks. I mean, just on an interesting note there. As I said when I did my PS3 steelbook video, I've got almost a complete set of those. And my PS4 collection has outstripped it by quite a few now. So obviously it shows you that they're still trying to make money off steelbooks, but also that steelbooks are quite popular. So that was quite interesting. I've got a few shelves full of PS4 steelbooks by now. So anyway, and the other game I bought was that. About 18 quid, I think that was, brand new. It was about 30 odd, when it came out, 35 or something. So I actually played it this very day. I had a little session this morning with a few games other than Destiny, and that was one of them. And yeah, it's okay. It's not a bad game by any means. So that was that. Now on the steelbook front, with regards to films, I had quite a few nice presents bought to me and a couple of things that I picked up personally. So that was a present. Oh, I was pleased to get that Hellboy 2. Zavvi exclusive, that one, and I missed it when it came out. I didn't get a notification by email, and I was very upset when I missed that one. And then I looked at some of the prices and thought, I'll wait till it comes down a bit, but my family clubbed together and managed to find one at a decent price, and that one I got for Christmas. So I was very delighted with that one. It's actually got, I can just prise the cover off without absolutely ripping it to shreds. It's got quite a nice back to it as well. I hate these paper ones. When you get them off, they become stuck to it, and that was the back of it, which I like quite a lot as well. So yeah, I was delighted to get that one. It's not a bad film actually. And then here's one of my very favourite films of recent years, Unbreakable. Of course, they recently brought out Glass, which was the third in the series, and Split was the one in the middle. But this is by far and away the best of the three, in my opinion. I just love this film. Don't know what it is about it. It's the atmosphere. It's sort of like laid back acting. Bruce Willis, I'm not a big fan of, but he sort of like he draws it right back for this. Yeah, Samuel Jackson is great in it as well, and I was delighted that they finally brought that out on Steelbook actually. So yeah, well pleased. I don't know if there's anything exciting on the back. Not greatly, but I like this. I like this cover because you see in the light there, it's debust. I think they call that when it's or is it embossed? I can never remember. No, debust, I think. Right, here's one of my favourite television series of recent years. Star Trek Discovery, that's the season 1. Came out recently. Glad I pre-ordered that because I think it's sold out on Zavvi. I think it's a Zavvi exclusive, I can't remember now, but yeah, it's quite a nice steelbook. It's all stuck down at the back, so I'm only going to give you a glimpse of the front cover there. Right, now I didn't like this film much, but steelbook's brilliant. Love that. I collect these project pop-arts anyway, so even if the film would have been absolutely diabolically poor 1 out of 10, which it wasn't. It wasn't that bad. I would have bought it. That's the idiosyncrasies of collecting. Buying films that you don't really care for, but it's the steelbook, the thing. I'll probably never watch the film again. But these Project Pop Arts are great. They do some wonderful covers on these, and that was another one that was purchased for me. Now this was a strange one. This again was another present. It's the, you remember, a few of you might remember a while back I did a whole video on lenticular covers, because if you look on the net there aren't that many about. It's a bona fide area of collecting lenticulars, but there's just not many videos up about it, and I was pleased to get that one. I haven't actually seen this one around much, so that makes about 5 copies of that film I've got now, with other steelbooks and what have you. But not to worry. Now this one I've been trying to find. This is another present. I think it was birthday, this one. Passengers, yeah. Now I really enjoyed this film. Now I've spoken to a few people who've seen it. Didn't think much of it, quite frankly, but for some reason I really enjoyed this film. And the price, it's one of these films where the prices just never moved. It's up around about 25 quid. And so I said, when we made out our Christmas list, I said, if you can find me a Passengers at a decent price, I'd love to have one. And well, one turned up anyway. I don't know what price it was, but I was really delighted with that one. And then this one again was another present. Escape Plan, Arnie and Sly, Stallone and Schwarzenegger. If you haven't seen this, it might surprise you, because I thought, oh God, it's going to be another one of them awful geriatric romps with old actors in, but actually it's quite an entertaining film. I enjoyed it, and I'd been looking at it on the net, but I never got around to buying it, but it got bought for me, and I was quite happy with that, because as I say, it's a decent film. It's a very stylish steelbook as well. It looks like one of those, I don't know if any of you are familiar with those Mondo steelbooks that they do with, fancy graphics. But quite happy to get that one. I know for a fact that one wasn't very expensive when I saw it. And then I've got a steel pack of this one, but I don't like it. I love the film, but I don't like the steel pack. It's not very nice artwork and stuff, and it's garish. Not to say this isn't, but at least it's a bona fide steelbook and limited. A nice steelbook of that, actually. That's frightening, isn't it, Johnny? But great film, love it. Now these are not actually steelbooks, but I just thought I'd show them anyway, because I picked them all up, and I'm really enjoying the series. I'm on to series 3 now. It's the Flash TV series. If any of you are DC fans, Flash fans, it's well worth a look. There's quite a lot of twists and turns and surprises. It's the usual sort of young Americans, the way they act these days, but I'm not a big fan of that sort of thing. He's sort of like a semi rom-com actors, but it's a good watch. That was volume 1, and then I picked up the 2nd season and the 3rd season on a 2 for 25 deal in HMV, so that's not bad, 12 quid a lump for a whole season. And then I just got that one in Kex. I've still got the Kex label on it. I should take that off, really. That was only 12 quid, so I think I picked them all up for around about that, and for a whole series of whole season of vids, I don't think that's too bad. Right now, it's been a very, very busy couple of months for me. with regard to hardback comics. And I've got quite a few to show you, so I'll get moving. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. That was an unusual one I managed to find in a local shop. It was brand new. They do books that are sent back to the publishers. I'm a big fan of Thanos comics, and I've got a big collection of them in my room upstairs. But that's prose novel about the great man. So yeah, I was quite happy to get that. It was that cheap as well. So what was it originally? $25. So it's a 20 quid book. I think it was only about a fiver or something. Now I mentioned these are actually comic books that I actually mentioned to you last time. This is the Heroes in Crisis storyline, the one where all the young superheroes who they set up this place where they can go and work out their problems. Because obviously superheroing has its moments, and it's sort of a psychiatric centre, if you like, for young superheroes who've got problems with what they see and what they do. We're up to number 5 now. That's the latest one I picked up. I think there's another one due out this week, so I'll pick it up tomorrow probably. I normally stack these one about so they don't get bent, and that's number 4. Harley in her best manic mood there. I showed you the other 3 last time, so we'll not run through them. And those 2 are I showed you the Sam Keith Arkham Dreams comics that I bought, numbers 1 and 2. Well, those 2 are the variant covers, or are they the variant covers? No, I think they're the 2 I showed you. Sorry about this mix up. I think they're the variant covers. They were in a pack 2 for 3 quid, so I thought, what the hell, I love Sam Keith. Let's have all the variants as well as the regular comics. And this one, I can't remember if I showed this to you last time, but it's well worth a second view if I did, because it's the variant of Batman 50, the marriage issue, or the so-called marriage issue, I'll say. I won't put any spoilers in for you. But Joe Linsner, who did a character called Dawn a way back. Any of you into comics will remember that. That's a lovely cover. I mean, it was a 15 quid book, variant book, and I picked it up for half that, about $7.50. But I just love that. Oh, it's beautiful. Words can't explain how much I love that cover. So yeah, I picked that one up. And just switch over here for a couple that I bought recently. That's all this stuff that I show you now is all in hardback. That's the Miracle Man book 4. I've shown you 1 to 3 in one of the other videos I did. Now this is the one where Alan Moore had actually left and he passed it over to Neil Gaiman, who carried on the story with an artist called Mark Buckingham, who had a different. I mean, obviously Neil Gaiman has a very different style to Alan Moore, and Mark Buckingham has a very different style to John Totalben and some of the people who did the original Miracle Man run. But I mean, this is, I said to you before, this is my favourite story arc. I mean, I've read thousands and thousands of comics over the years. I dread to think how many comics I've read, and this is my favourite story arc out of the lot. I'm surprised I didn't have this already, but I actually ran into it in the same store as I bought that Thanos, and it was only about a $5, I think. And these are what, $30 books, so they probably knock you back about 25 quid, 24 quid if you happen to pay full price for it, which not many people do now because of Amazon. But yeah, that's the that's the final arc that's being published. I mean, I'm hoping and praying that they finish this arc, because Gaiman had another two. This is the Golden Age, and I think Gaiman had another two, Silver Age and some other age. I forget what it was. I don't think it was the Bronze. It might have been the Bronze Age even, but yeah. So I was pleased to get hold of that one at a very cheap price. And then likewise with this one, this was only a tenner. It's the Marvel Generations arc that came out a few years ago now. I mean, I never read it at the time, but to get it all in one volume for tenner. It's not a massive volume, but it is quite nice. That's an Alex Ross cover there, which I love Alex Ross. So yeah, I was pleased to find that one. Now I'll just show you this one so I can get it out of the way. Right, I dare say a lot of you comic fans will be familiar with Sandman, a very popular comic. Not so much when it first came out. I mean, I reckon the first half a dozen issues to half a dozen or 8 issues are the best. But it wasn't, it didn't set any records alight when it first came out. But of course, it's one of those Donnie Darko things. Over the months that it came out, it became more and more popular until everybody became aware of it. So anyway, this is volume 3 of the complete Sandman. It's a lovely volume. It's $100 volume. And it's lovely on the side there. I mean, it's all printed in silver, and it's debossed or embossed. Embossed, I think. I can. It's like stalactite and stalagmite. I can never remember which is which. But yeah, I mean that's the volume 3. I mean, believe it or not, this was only 20 quid. $100 book, $100 slipcase volume for 20 quid, and it covers. I'll get a little bit of play. I mean, there's lots of. I'll not open it because I don't want to crack the spine or anything silly like that. But it's got all the stories, and then a lot of artwork in the back that was never seen in the comics, and that covers issues 40 to 56. So there'll be volumes 1 to 2, and then I think there'll be a volume 4. Probably does the last several issues, and I'll be keeping my eye out for those. But this was, I mean, Forbidden Planet have been having a big sale on omnibuses mainly, and general hardbacks, which I've been snapping up at ridiculous prices. And that way I was lucky enough to find that. But I mean, I don't get there till a Friday normally, and they come in on a Monday, then I'm a bit snookered. But yeah, luckily by the time I've got there, there's been copies left, so I made sure that I got involved with those. Talking of Sandman, that's another nice volume. That was a cheap one as well. It's the Dave McKean dust covers from some of the earlier issues. I don't know when he stopped doing them, but I mean, Dave McKean's a great artist in his own right. I've got a few books of his, but yeah, this is all the dust covers that he did. Very nice book. It was only, I don't know, it was only about 7 quid or something ridiculous, Now these next two are. I showed you last video I did on pickups. I showed you a Batman one. These are the Unwrapped series, which I'm trying to build up a collection of, and it's all shot from the pages are all done from the original pencils. I'll show you very briefly there without wrecking the thing. I'll get a quick, yeah. See, everything's done from pencil artwork, and I love anything like that, because when a comic's printed, it loses so much once you know, you get the inks on the pencils. You get a duff inker, it looks rubbish, and then the colours go on, which muddies it a little bit more. So yeah, I mean, you never get that kind of detail on a regular comic, although the printing's a lot better than it used to be. I mean, I remember they used to bring comics out in the 80s. Oh, they were horrible. The colours all bled, and it was all yellow, and oh god, it was. I mean, I had a chick selling them actually, or a chick charging you for them. But anyway, that's The Death of the Family, which is quite a famous Joker story. And then the other one I got was the Grant Morrison, Andy Kubert one from Batman 655 to 658, 664 to 666, 686 and 700, and a couple more as well. Good storyline. When I think that was the one when Batman's son, who he had to Talia al Ghul, the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, which any of you seen the films, you'll know what I'm talking about. If not, you'll think I'm talking gibberish as usual. Right, this was another cheapie. Don't know returns, quite a thin volume, as I say. It was less than 110, or I forget, 7 or 8 quid. But any decent hardback I can find under a tenner, I'm there for it. That's the deluxe edition of that. Then we have another black and white volume. This is not part of the Unwrapped series. It's just a Batman Noir. I think they did a couple of these. I think they did a Watchmen Noir as well. But I think they did 2 or 3 maybe of the Batman Noir. Hush, I think it was the Hush storyline was another one. But this one is actually just in black and white from the pencils and ink. So it's not like the Unwrapped, you know, where you've got it all shot from the original pencils. Right, that's another one I found in my local bookshop. So there again, all these books that I find there are all stuff that have been remaindered. That's the word I've been trying to think of. They're remaindered. It's stuff that hasn't sold, you know, and gone back to the publishers, and publishers then knock them out for ridiculously cheap prices. That's the Mark Waid run on Daredevil. That's the first volume, and that was about a tenner for a $35 book. So yeah, no complaints there at all. And then that's the All-Star Batman. That was like a spin-off series of Batman in the DC Rebirth set of comics. Not really familiar with it, but it was another cheapie. So I thought, yeah, why not? It's cheap. Now this one was an HMV cheapie. It was actually marked up as $17.99, but they were doing it for $4.99 if you bought anything else in the shop. So I managed to find something to buy, and got that for a $5. There's a whole. Well, I've got another one next to show you, but there's a lot of these Earth One stories. There's the other one. That's the volume 2 of the Batman Earth One. That's another Forbidden Planet cheapie, well under a tenner. So I was quite happy to pay that for it. There again, $25 book. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Excuse me, I'm getting a bit getting a bit hoarse there. Right, that was a Zavi special. Oh, this little black book, about 8 quid, I think, online. Here again, it's a $30 book, so 8 quid's not bad at all. I'm not an insane fan of Harley Quinn, but I thought at that price, well, we'll give it a go. That was very cheap. That's a series of Elric they did all the way back in the 80s. I think it was Pacific Comics or one of those independent publishers. I remember I might even still have the comics, but I normally keep anything Elric-wise or Moorcock-wise, and it's quite a thick volume, and that was, I don't know, a couple of quid. I think it was one of these 3 for 2 buys, So, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it seems to have been printed straight from the comic book, because the artwork on the pages is not glossy or anything, but for a couple of quid I thought, well, what the heck. And then we've got this, that was another 2 or 3 quid book. Where are we? $30. So I think there was a Maiden's book. I forget the title of it, but there was one before this, I'm sure. Way back in the 80s or somewhere, but I think this is a sequel to it. But like I say, for the price, I thought we'll have some of that. And then, yeah, this was another special I got at Forbidden Planet. It's hold it right back. It's one of those large format books, just giving you a history of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Obviously, it ties in mainly with the films, but there's a lot of history about the comics. I mean, they were very different. You can see they were very, very different when they first started out to what they are in the films and the comics these days, as in that. But yeah, I mean, it was about a 10 of that, and it's quite a large volume, so I was quite happy to pick that one up. And then these are the omnibus volumes that I told you about earlier. These are very thick volumes. Most of them are around about the $100 mark, which these days of a dollar to pound would be around about 80 quid, I suppose, or maybe a little bit more. This was the Avengers. I think this was probably about 1980s, was it? I'm not sure. My memory gets a bit hazy after 80 because I didn't read so many comics through the 90s. But yeah, that was a lot of the Avengers stuff that John Byrne did. And unfortunately, a lot of stuff in there he didn't do. So it's a bit of a missell that, if there is such a word, misnomer, shall we say. But yeah, I mean, I think it was another one of these 20 quid jobs, so I'm not really complaining. Now this I bought by accident because it was advertised as black and white, and I like to see anything in black and white. It's basically the new 52 Flash. I mean, it's another $100. And I like the Flash, as I say, I've been watching the TV series on Blu-ray, and I've always quite liked the Flash as a character. And this is, I think, the first 25 stories of the new 52, I think it was, by these two guys. And yeah, it's a great read. I've read it cover to cover. I read it cover in about 3 days, and it's it's quite a lot to read there, as you can see. But yeah, I mean, as I say, for a book that I bought by accident, when I got it, I thought I'll send that back. That's in colour, and I thought, oh, that looks quite nice. Actually, the artwork's nice, and so I kept it and read it, and they're not getting it back. Staying with me. Right, this is one of those very nice DC omnibuses, I should say. Golden Age of Batman, Volume 3. Yeah, unfortunately, when you pick these things up for about 20 quid or whatever they are, you very rarely get Volume 1, although the next one I show you is going to shoot that one down in flames. But yeah, it's normally a later volume that you get, and you look at the earlier volumes, you think, oh, I wouldn't mind having them, and you see the price of them, 80 quid, and you think, maybe I'll hang about, see if they have another discount sale. But yeah, that one covers some of the early Batman comics, 16 to 25, and we're going back to the early 40s there. World's Finest, 10 to 14, and Detective Comics, 75 to 92. So yeah, I mean, you can see from the artwork there that things were a lot different way back then, you know. But yeah, it's a nice book to have, just, you know, because they print all the covers full page, and some of the covers are amazing, especially on the very early ones. That's why I would like to get the first and second volumes. This is actually a first volume of the World's Finest omnibus. Nice thick volume again. That covers World's Finest 71 to 116. So I mean, that is actually prior to, I think the first issue of World's Finest that came over here was about 105, if I remember correctly, because I bought it. So I should be able to remember. I think it was 105. So you got 71 to 116. So a lot of these are pre English versions, if you like. Yeah, I mean, it's just a nice book to have at the price. So the artwork is a bit dodgy, but and the storylines are a bit juvenile, but you know, for the price, so you can worry. I'm pleased to get this for 20 quid. This is Michael Brian Bendis's Guardians of the Galaxy. You can't see this one because it's a dark printing on a dark background, but it's a lot of issues of his Guardians of the Galaxy run, as you can see by the size of it there, and it's volume 1. Another 20 quid jobby, and it's another. Oh, this one's $125, so that would probably cost you thick end of 100 quid RRP, but of course you can probably get it for about 70-80 quid on Amazon. And then last but not least, I bought this just a couple of weeks ago. I'm not a big Spider-Man fan, but that's the Tangled Web stories that were produced not so long ago. There again, it's one of the omnibuses. It's $100 again, and I think that one was about 17 quid. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. And so that's my little collection of comics. It's been more comics than anything, especially hardbacks. But when they're knocking them out that cheap, it's something that I couldn't really turn down. It's a bugger on your bookshelves, mine, because A, they're heavy, and B, they take up a lot of space. Now, finally, I shall show you something that I'm quite proud of, actually. I finally completed my collection of shadow facsimile pulps. Some of you who have stuck with the channel will remember, I don't know, about 5 or 6 ago, I did a whole video on the old shadow pulps from the 30s and 40s, and I've actually managed to complete my collection. Now, the reason I say I'm quite proud of it is because I didn't have many of these a couple of years ago, just a handful, and given that they're sort of $15 each plus postage, I thought it would be a long time before I managed to get the cash together to get the whole run of 130. Well, I think it's near 140 now, plus a couple of annuals. But I finally managed to get there. What we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I bought the last 13 from America to complete the run with a bit of extra cash I managed to knock together. I mean, I've been lucky with these. I managed to get quite a lot of eBay, which you hardly ever see these on English eBay. I managed to get a lot of them very cheaply, so that's how I was able to knock it together. But yeah, these last few that I just ordered from America, because I say they complete the run. And I'm a big shadow fan. I used to have a lot of these pulps back in the day. So it was one of those runs that I was delighted to finish. The only trouble is it's the journey, not the destination, that's the joy with collecting. And once you've got them all, you think to yourself, oh dear, what am I going to do now? But I'm sure there's other shadow material out there that's willing and able to be purchased. But yeah, these facsimile pulps are particularly nice because they reprint two. There's about 325 pulps printed back in the 30s and 40s, and these do two of them. So what's half of that? 150, 100, 160 odd. It'll take to complete the whole run of original pulps, and as I say, we're nearly at 140 now, so we're not that far away. So I've still got that to look forward to. You know, I've still got to keep up with the latest ones that are coming out. But they're actually in bulk. They're easily bought from America because some of the Amazon prices are stupid, and there's not a lot of English dealers, comic dealers that do these now. So yeah, that was that last final 13. So yeah, that's what I've been up to for the last couple of months. I should also add before we go that I've got a lot of Destiny stuff for Christmas and birthday. So I'll be doing a separate video for those. Also, I've picked up a lot of retro mini machines. I think I showed you the Commodore 64 one last time I did a pickups. I've since picked up the SNES and the NES mini, sort of like mini versions of the consoles with games built in. And then these little things here. Now I'm a big fan of arcade machines. And these actually play a game. It's the NES versions that they play, but you plug a few batteries in and you can actually play the version on that little screen there. They're great. I bought 7 of those. But what I'll do is I'll not bother you with those today. I'll do a separate video of the 7 mini arcades and the 3 mini machines. That'll make a nice little video because they are very nice and dinky looking and great fun to play, I should add. So yeah, that's what should be coming up in the near future. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Kenny RH signing out.